All right. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing? First of all, happy Wednesday. Just about to say happy Monday, but we had to move things over to Wednesday today. And, couldn't be happier with the day today. Market's moving. Beautiful day outside. We got a lot to talk about. I'm very excited to get into this. If you guys are just tuning in or if you guys are hanging out here in the Discord, please feel free to ask any questions you might have regarding, the trade setups, the strategy, entries, take profits, stop losses, anything in between. Um, this session is meant for you guys to go ahead and kind of learn more about me, how I approach things, how I trade, and hopefully you guys can take away something new from today's live stream. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk BTC. Let's talk TA. Let's talk about what could be happening. So, for those who might be new and those who might not know what the strategy that I use is called the ABC strategy. A quick synopsis of what the ABC strategy is basically we look at a trend in groups of three, right? And ideally, what we're looking for is once a completed setup is formed, right? We're looking for a reversal, right? So there's only two types of trades that we take. It's a ABC short and an ABC long. An ABC short is when price puts in a high, a pullback, and a higher high. Once price gets back below the pivot of the first A, we go ahead and take a short entry and look for a reversal or a continuation, depending on the trend that we're looking at. Vice versa for longs. So we pretty much have a downtrend, a pullback, and a continuation lower. Once price gets back above the pivot of the A, we go ahead and take a long position and hopefully to ride the next wave to the upside. Those are pretty much the only two trades that I take. The goal is basically to allow price to form a setup and allow the market to give us those opportunities to take trades. And from there, we go ahead and capitalize on that. But throughout the entirety of today's session, this is what we're going to be talking about. In case you guys are familiar with how I do things, that's just a little quick glimpse. So, first of all, how I like to do this is kind of look at this from a larger perspective, a more macro point of view, talk about the possibilities of what could be going on. And from there, we can go ahead and dissect the quote unquote smaller moves. So, from there, what I like to do is we're going to start from the top of the bull market since this is the end of the bull market, beginning of the bear market. To me, this is an A to a B to a C. All right. Now, one of the things that I will talk about, and you guys will hear me talk about throughout this stream and future streams, is talking about possibilities of what could be happening. Just because we have an ABC doesn't mean we're all the way done yet. Sometimes what can happen is this is more frequent on smaller time frames, is that we have ABCs, all right, and that ABC becomes one larger A, all right, and then we can look for a potential ABC to the downside to form a B wave. And then from there, we might get one more. Well, we will get one more push higher to put in ABC for a C wave. Now, some setups are cleaner than others. Ideally, I would like to see something like that to where we can get a nice set of sub waves in between each individual wave. So when I look at the macro bear trend, to me, in my opinion, this is a textbook example of what a very nice clean ABC setup is. We have an ABC within each subwave. All right. And to me, we formed an ABC on the C wave, and now we can go ahead and look at the pivot. All right. You can see we crossed above that pivot, and we currently we pumped significantly past it. Now, the question is something I like to ask myself, and something I will always look for when it comes to analyzing the market is questioning whether this ABC is the beginning of something, like we talked about in the example, to where is this ABC part of a larger A, or is this the end of something? We can go ahead and make an argument for both. To be honest, if you guys said, hey, I'm pretty confident this is the bottom, I honestly can't fight you on that. But I can also play devil's advocate and play and say, you know what, maybe this ABC is part of a larger A. Right. Maybe we're working on an ABC to the upside for a larger B. And, bearish case scenario, to me, this is the most bearish case scenario, is that we are going to get a lower low past the previous pivot of around 15,000. Right. that when all that's said and done, what I've been doing recently is I've been what I've been doing is I've been basically saving these ideas. So let me show you guys some of the ideas that I have. So the main bearish, so we just talked about, to where we get a lower low past that 15 400 450 region. We have another idea to where maybe we have bottom, which I talked about, which is the bullish option. This was an ABC. I think we're still due for a pullback, regardless of whether I think that we're going to be the most bullish or most bearish in this case. But in my opinion, I think we're due for a pullback at some point. It really depends on the severity of that pullback and how it responds once we get down in these lower regions. If we can go ahead and get a rebound, I kind of have a middle of the road option as well, to where it's long term bullish, short to medium term bearish. Is that we are topping out. We're going to be forming in a much larger extended B wave with its own ABC. Hopefully, be able to catch that position and ride the next wave up. Regardless of what you guys want to think of, whether if things are going to be bullish or bearish, the way I look at things, and if you approach things from the ABC strategy, I honestly think you can make a case for both. So, a couple of other things to keep in mind, which I've been doing this on my streams as well, and I want to show you guys this, which is I think is important, is understanding important resistance and support areas. To me, there's a couple different areas we have to keep in mind and understand where price is going to show significant, or at least a decent amount of resistance. Now, I do that based off of local highs. Right, what local highs are pretty much the peaks of uptrend, right? Or within a downtrend, I'll look for a significant break and a peak from there as well. So pretty much I marked out the significant peaks that we have made along the way up and also on the way down from the previous bear market. To me, we're kind of sitting at a pretty significant pivot at this 29,191. If we continue to hold and we push up, the next region for me to logically go ahead and assume that we're going to test is 32,475. Now, if that breaks and we continue to pump, we have a higher probability of go ahead and testing, 42,950 or even 48,325. To me, when we're in these territories of indecisiveness and not understanding where price can exactly go, because the way I do things is I don't look for exact targets. I try not to predict the market exactly on how it's going to move. My job is to wait for the setups that the market is going to show me, wait for those opportunities, set up the trades, and take them as they're presented. So when we're kind of in this area to where we don't really have any good ABC setups, but the markets will keep pushing the upside, I have to go ahead and just look for significant resistances on the way up. So those are just some levels to keep an eye on, as well as supports from the previous bear market, as well as on the way up. We have 4850, sorry, 40,850. We have 32,830. We also have 26,525, and then lower 19,530, and then 15,425, which is the ultimate low. So, we have some places where we can go ahead and bounce off of. Now, will I be taking trades off of those bounces? No, I will wait for hopefully a setup to form within those regions. I can go ahead and take a trade. But at the moment, those are the areas of support that matter. But until I get an actual setup to take, I won't be taking any trades. As well as when it comes to trades, I want to go ahead and talk about a more recent setup that I'm taking. All right, that I'm in actually at the moment. So we do have a larger A to a B to a C. We can go ahead and go to 1 hour. There you go. So we completed that setup. We put in a higher high. As long as price can get back below this pivot here, let me get rid of the support regions. There you go. So if price can get back below 29,191 and maintain below that, I will be shorting. Currently we're sitting above. So if you guys want to go ahead and wait for that entry, if we don't, if we don't bounce from here, I will be taking that entry as a possible reversal. Besides that, I really don't see any other significant positions that I'm willing to take. I know some people who are a little bit more familiar with ABCs might come up with this one, and I have seen this circulating around. And yeah, if you want to, you can, but to me, it's just not a significant enough setup. Compared to the larger picture, and I'm on the 1 hour, this larger short setup trumps the smaller long setup. So can we still pump off of this setup? Absolutely. But to me, I'm playing based off of probabilities. What is more likely? And for me, this is the option that is more likely, in my opinion, that we're going to go ahead. And if we do continue to reject and push lower, or at least if we can maintain below that pivot, I think the probabilities of price continuing downward are going to be a lot greater. So just waiting on a move for that. But that's the only BTC trade I'm in at the moment. Like I said, if you guys have any questions throughout the entirety of the session, feel free to stop me. If I'm going too fast, or you want me to touch on something, or you want me to explain something a little bit more, or if you guys are listening via YouTube and Twitch, I know there's a couple of you guys in there. Hello. If you guys have any questions for me while we're doing things here today, while I'm giving you guys an update, please let me know. But besides that, let's go ahead and move on to Ethereum. So Ethereum has been interesting. This is something I've been wanting to talk about, and unfortunately, this happened. I did get into a trade, but all this happened when I was sleeping. But we do have a very nice ABC short setup. Before I go ahead and do that, I wanted to talk about the macro analysis of what could be going on. Now, there's a couple different things. I'm going to give you guys the bearish, the bullish, and kind of show you guys what is possible. So the most bearish at the moment, all right, is we have formed an ABC similar to BTC. All right. And then that orange wave is going to represent a wave. So this is going to be the first initial downtrend. We have completed an A, B to a C to the upside. All right. This can be portrayed as a larger B wave. Now, if this is going to be the most bearish case scenario, ultimately, I'm going to be looking for a lower low back down to 875 and beyond. I don't know exactly where it's going to go, but just kind of should paint you guys a picture of what I think is possible. All right. Let's see. Let's go over what's this one. Okay. So this one's kind of similar. This is the idea that we have an ABC here and we have bottomed, all right, off of this downtrend. Now we're working on an A to a B to a C, which creates a larger A wave. All right. So that means we are going to still dump, but hopefully, if this is going to be a larger retracement without putting in a lower low, we can hopefully catch an ABC long position and ride the next wave up. That is also a viable option for me. I think it's pretty much, what's this one? Okay, and this one is pretty much just the most bullish case scenario. So we put in an ABC. Price may fight around this region for a while, but ultimately we just keep pushing to the upside. That's probably the most bullish case scenario for me. Some important resistance levels to keep an eye on. All right, this is taken off of the trend on the way down and also on the way up. So we have a kind of a pocket of resistance here between 1684 and 1745. That's a very important level for us to keep an eye on. We obviously have that 2030 region, which I mentioned before off of the previous setup that I'm currently entered short off of. If we fail to maintain below this and we continue to push the upside, the next highest probability region to go ahead and test for ETH is around that 3577. Now, if that is the case, all right, I'm going to be leaning more towards the bullish side, is because that's such a significant region to go ahead and test. Doesn't mean we can't still flip. I'm just going to be flipping my bias towards the bullish side. But until we get that push, we do have a completed setup. I do have a bearish bias on ETH at the moment. And hopefully we can get an answer here. Or hopefully price can make a ultimate larger decision, because, we're still in the area of indecisiveness. Even though we have done a significant amount, price can still rebound and push higher. So I need to see a more clear-cut answer. For me, that either would be a much larger rejection off of 2030, or if we continue to make our way towards 3577. And then the ultimate previous high is 4900. That's the ultimate resistance, in my opinion. If we get up to test that region and break through, more than likely, I would say we're in a bull market, or at least treading into the idea of. Besides that, I'm in that short position, which I mentioned before. Let me show you guys supports. I didn't show you guys supports. So for supports, sorry, I got ahead of myself a little bit. So basically supports, I marked them on the way down and also on the way up. We have a support at 33.78. You know, I draw these out and I show you guys just in case you guys want to use these as resistances. Some people do like to use, or some, sorry, I don't say some people. Price does respect prior areas of support as potential resistance. Perfect case scenario, perfect example is we have a support here. We came back down, kind of rejected here, and then we also rejected here. So this could be a very classic support resistance flip, and you know that could be a indicator of a possible larger move based off of that rejection. But just letting you guys know what the areas of support to look for. If we continue to fall, the next area of significant support is around 1369, the next being around 1070, and then the lowest being 875. So it really depends on how price gets to that region, or if we can go ahead and test those regions, how it behaves. If we can form setups around those pivots, I will absolutely take them. But until then, you know, those are the areas I'm looking for. Let me just mark out the short position that I'm in. All right, that's that short position. Entry just being slightly below 2030. On Bybit's around 2033. So I got into this trade. You know, I set up Trigger Trade, and Trigger Trade was able to get me in at a really good entry. If you guys haven't gotten into this trade yet, if you are looking to take this short, not financial advice, this is just my opinion. In my experience, if I was in a situation where I missed this and I was looking to get in, I would personally wait for a retest to the upside, and hopefully we can get in as close to that entry as possible. But besides that, I am in a long position from this ABC. So as long as you're above this pivot at around 1554, I did enter. I'm still holding it. Hopefully, if I can get some sort of A to a B to a C here, something like that, and get a continuation pattern, which basically what a continuation pattern is basically if you have a initial position, which is a long position in this case, you take the entry, let price move, extended, you know, to an extended run of the upside. You know, I'm not looking for short moves and continuation setups. I want to see price extend further past the entry. Once I'm in significant profit, I'm basically waiting for another ABC to form, try to catch the next wave up, and basically take profit and re-enter. That's the goal of the continuation method. And this is almost like the best way I like to describe this is kind of like taking steps. So basically, you take an initial step, wait for price to give you the next entry, take the next step, and hopefully you can, you know, take as many steps as you can on the way up. But ultimately, that's what I'm looking for ETH when it comes to taking profit on the long. That's something I keep my eyes out on, as well as I am entered short. So let me just see if there's anywhere. See if you guys have any questions. All right, cool. We're on a good roll here. This has definitely been an interesting chunk of price action that's been going on. Unfortunately, I wasn't awake for this for the initial move, but hopefully this is the beginning of a larger either, you know, larger swing to the downside, or if we just bottom out and we continue up, that'd be great as well. Let's do LTC real quick. So I pretty much do the big three. Oh, we almost got a test of the new high. Let's see. Okay. So LTC, you know, on a larger time frame here, let's see if I have this one saved. Bearish ABC. Yes. So most bearish case scenario for LTC. Unfortunately, I would like to see a higher high be put in past that previous pivot at around 105.43. I don't know. I had that set at a better level. I don't know why it changed. Where is the price label? Okay, that's that one. Cool. Oh, I would like to see a higher high be put in past 105.43. But if we are going to continue to dump, unfortunately, there's no short entry there. But ultimately, I am looking for a much larger A to a B to a C for larger A to a B to a C for a larger B, and eventually looking for a lowest low back down below $40.36. That's the most bearish option that I have at the moment. Bullish option is that maybe we have bottomed, all right, off of this ABC, and then we're working on some sort of extension of the C wave, or variation is maybe we put in an A wave, we go ahead, put in a larger pullback, and just continue higher. All right. That's pretty much it for LTC. I'm not in any trades on LTC, but I just want to get you guys a better idea, a bigger idea of what I think is going to happen and what could be happening. Let's see. Let's do ADA because I know ADA is at its entry. All right, so this is a live update because we're pretty much sitting at the entry. So if you guys are interested in taking a short position, not financial advice, this is something I am doing. This is my opinion. This is something that I'm going off of. We do have a much larger ABC formed on, this is a 3-hour time frame. So this is a clear as day, right in your face ABC. Something worth taking, or at least something worth looking at, in my opinion. As long as we're below 42.18, we are bullish. The only thing to keep in mind is that we are at a bullish pivot. I'm sorry, I meant to say bearish. I don't know if I said bearish before, but that's a bearish short entry. But we are above a bullish pivot around 40.10. So, kind of an area of confliction right here. If we remain above 40.10, I think we could be long-term bullish. But I'm taking that opportunity at that 42.18 region, just in case this turns out to be a much larger A to a B to a C. Or even if this is going to be a bullish case scenario, to me, there's a chance that price at least comes down, pulls back before continuing higher. Those are the two main options I have those are the three options I have for ADA. It's either we continue to pump off of that bullish pivot, we dump off of this larger reversal, or at the very least, if we are going to dump, put in a larger pullback and then continue higher. So that's pretty much it for ADA. If anybody has any other coins you want me to look at, please, let me know. You guys can unmute yourselves, or if you want to go ahead and type it in chat, or I'm keeping my eye on YouTube chat and Twitch chat as well. So if you guys have any questions on what I've been talking about so far, anything ABC related, some of the entries that I'm taking, please, I invite you guys to go ahead and ask. So I'll give you guys a moment while I take a sip of water, or if you just want me to look at something else.
Is it possible to check BNB? It's a lot of attention on Binance at the moment, and I'm really curious. I know it's not 100% related to Binance. It's Paxos, if I say correctly, but still,
Yeah, I
it's
think
very
so, yeah.
close to Binance.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So I'm actually, am I still in my Binance short? I'm long. I think I'm still in a Binance long.
Take
So
care, buddy.
yeah, no, to be honest, I'm waiting for an opportunity to get out. But for BNB, pretty much longer term, what I think is going to happen based off what I see of what's off of the ABC patterns is there's a couple of things to keep in mind. That is a ginormous ABC. To me, that is an area of bullish, I guess, higher probability of a bullish move to the upside. You can see we kind of pumped above that region, and we're kind of consolidating in this region. Doesn't mean we can't stay up, continue to go up, but as of now, keep that in mind. Another scenario is that maybe this is a larger A to a B to a C, where we do end up making another dip to the downside past 182.60. Another variation is that maybe we have an ABC here to where we come up and test one more area of the high, or one more high before dumping as well. Oh, that's wrong. That's not the right color. All right, so 397 is an important pivot to keep an eye on, and as well as I'm trying to think of what's the other option. The other option is like I said, the bearish case scenario is a test back below 182.60. I would say another case scenario, which is short-term, medium-term bearish to longer-term bullish, is that maybe we have bottomed here. We make either a push for one more high, or either we reverse at this region. We can go ahead and look for a larger A to a B to a C. So that's a option as well. Another thing to keep in mind is we don't necessarily have to go ahead and test that high. We do have an ABC here, which is, this is a ginormous wick, and it kind of makes the setup a little bit cleaner. But as long as we're below 338.60, that is a short entry for me. That also lines up with this entry from the larger ABC, and it kind of creates a head and shoulders. So for you guys who like traditional patterns, that definitely can give you a little bit more of a, not the cleanest, but that is a head and shoulders. But that's not necessarily how I look at things. But that is a bearish pivot for me as well. So we don't necessarily have to go ahead and test that new high. The only thing to keep in mind at this point is support regions. All right. So I'm going to mark these out in the green. All right. So 220.30 is a support region. And then 180, what did I say before? 182.60. So as long as, we can go ahead and test these regions. But for me, it's one level at a time. If we are going to dump, I would say ultimately 220 is a viable option to go test. If we continue to fall, 183 is the next option. And let's see. But Arius asks, would you consider shorting ADA? It has a similar setup as LTC and is slightly above the entry. Yes. So I'm definitely, if I had to pick one over the other, I will definitely be shorting ADA over LTC. So if you're interested in shorting that Bedarius, I definitely would do so. I'm actually, I believe my entry got filled. So I am in that. Once we catch up, I'll let the guys know in the group, as well as, if you guys are here first, you guys are getting a first, you guys are first to know that I'm in an ADA short. But besides that, yeah, if anyone has any questions or anything else I want me to look at, we're going to move over on to traditional markets. Look at the DXY, the S&P. Let's see. I just got an 88 on a micro ABC. Is it the one I talked about, 4218 crypto will, or is it a small entry on a long? Okay. That one, 4218, perfect. That's, like I said, that's it. We're going based off of probability. So this is a higher probability setup. Just keep in mind, we'll have to wait and see how price reacts in this region, but definitely was a good entry in my opinion. Like I said, not financial advice, but that's something I'm taking as well. 42 245. 42 245. Okay, I see off of that wick. Okay. All right. Let's see if anybody else have any questions before we move on to traditional markets. All right, let's move. I saw Crypto Will, you were just typing in chat. I'll go ahead and move on if you wanted to ask something, but for now, let's go on to traditional markets. So we're gonna be looking at the SPY, as well as the SPY, DXY, and a couple assets as well. So let's make sure there's no one in chat in the YouTube side. All right, cool, we're good. So on the S&P, I'm on a 3-hour here. We can see the entirety of the bear market. We can see a lot of price action. Give us as much information as possible. At the moment, I see an A to a B to a C. Maybe if I change the candles, be less of a gap. Yeah, no gaps. So A to a B to a C. All right, as long as we're above 362.41, we do have a bullish bias, or at least a bullish pivot to go off of. All right, now The next question is this the beginning or the end of something? If this is the beginning, to me, it looks like we might put in one more high for a B wave before talking about possibility of a lower low. That's the most bearish case scenario. The bullish case scenario that maybe we have bottomed. Maybe we're working on some sort of A to a B to a C to continue higher. That's very important to understand and keep an eye on as well. So for me, that pivot at 348 is definitely very important to me. Crypto well, that's a great question. How do you take your profit? Wait for a reversal of the ABC. So I take profit based on something called the continuation method. So what the continuation method is, which I kind of briefly talked about it before, is let's say you have let's use the ADA short, for example. All right. Let's go back to ADA because I just want to show you an example of how I would do this or what I'm going to look for. So let's say ADA is bearish. Okay. Let's say you take that short and you're in the short. Now, question is, how do you get out? When is the time to get out? So when we do this and how we trade our ABCs, it's hard to exactly time where the bottom is or the top is going to be. And that this necessarily isn't our job to understand. But what we do like to do, right, and what we also look for, and what I look for, is something called a continuation method. Now, you guys know, or at least if you guys don't know, what I'm going to say is when we have ABCs, all right, and once we establish important pivots or important entries, those areas, those pivots become areas of probability. Okay. So for me, as long as price is below 42.18, we have a higher probability of continuing to the downside. If we cross back above, technically probability shift as price is dancing along that region. Let's say we continue to fall. All right. Probability plays in our favor. Now, for me, I'm looking for a significant move. Right. I would like to see as a requirements for an ABC continuation setup is, I like to be on the 2 to 3 hour, 1 to 3 hour, anywhere in that region. And I would want to see something that gives us another short ABC setup at a lower price region before continuing down, right? So basically all that does is you're looking for another ABC that's, recognizable on the same perspective that you took. And all you're doing is taking profit and re-entering once price gets back below. So I am taking profit as soon as price crosses above that A, because now that setup is complete. Now I will basically take the profit from the previous position, roll it over into the next position, and basically compound and allow price to give us another opportunity to take a swing to the downside. Now, this could happen anywhere. I don't look for any specific fib targets of where it could go. We can go all the way back down here before getting a larger ABC continuation setup and then coming back down lower. Ideally, that's what I like to see. I like to see when price moves significantly in our favor, then gives us a continuation setup. A very good example of this is something I've done in the past, right? I took a long off of this ABC bottom. All right. I pretty much got the exact bottom. I was off by like maybe whatever the difference between this wick and this wick is. But I longed that bottom and I basically let it ride. I did not take profit until I saw another opportunity to take another long position. So for me, when I zoom out on the same perspective, I see this. That is another bullish continuation method opportunity. So I took profit off of this one and re-entered here once price got back above. Unfortunately, we got stopped out. I did re-enter here again, got stopped out, and I wasn't able to catch another position on BTC. It's unfortunate. It does happen. But this allowed me to go ahead and lock in profit and then look for another opportunity elsewhere. I was still able to take long positions on XRP. I nailed a massive XRP trade recently. I'll show you guys that one quick. I basically moved that position. I took that position off the table. Oh man, that was a good one. Shoot. But I took this XRP trade. All right, and I nailed this entire run up. And I took profit right around here at about 49.82. Actually, no, it was either 49.82 or 52. It's one of those. But that was a massive R&R trade for me. Let's see. Crypto Will. I trade with high leverage, so I personally don't like to stay too long on a trade, but I like your perspective. I use leverage as well. Leverage is more of a tool to me. I incorporate leverage to, to basically minimize the amount of capital I put into a trade. And I know there's funding and all that. And there's different variables to keep in mind. But for me, entries, funding rate is a small cost to pay when it comes to taking these larger positions. I made almost 650% off of this XRP trade. I might have paid a little bit of funding, might have paid a little bit of market fees. So to me, it's just part of what I like to see, or part of what I like to see when it comes to understanding the larger perspective, taking the bigger setups. Let's see. Veer. Yo. I'm not gonna say it on because it's on my channel. LFG, but I know what you mean. Thank you so much for stopping by, my friend. I do appreciate it. But yeah, no, I know where you're coming from, Crypto Will. It's just for me, like I incorporate leverage into my trading as well. I use Bybit, other exchanges. And to me, it helps, it amplifies the amount of money that you're able to make. Damn, I missed that XRP setup though. There's one here. Nah, not the end of the world. All right, let's go back to unless Crypto Will. If anything else you want me to touch on, please let me know. I'll go ahead and definitely answer any more questions you might have. But if not, we're gonna go on to. Do you comfortably trade with the ABC on any coin? Another great question as well. So when it comes to trading ABCs, what's very important is liquidity, right? You can't get away with trading ABCs on a some shite coin, something that has very low market cap. You need a coin that has a lot of volume, a lot of money rotating in that market, or at least in that coin in general. That has a lot of liquidity. So BTC, you can get away with some smaller caps. I wouldn't go too small, but what you'll see is if I pull up something like BTC compared to, I don't know what's a new coin that's been out recently, you can tell that there's no legitimate setups on some of these lower cap altcoins, or these shite coins. So I primarily stick with BTC, ETH, LTC. I'll do XRP, Cardano, anything pretty much within like the top 25 to top 50. That's pretty much what I'll do. That's and as long as it gives you the actual ABC setup itself, and I'll go ahead and take the entry accordingly based on what the chart shows me. LTC, we already went over LTC. Pretty much, I'll do a quick synopsis because someone asked in YouTube chat. 104.27 is that pivot. All right, if we can get back above and then get back below. Get back below. That would be a bearish short setup. To me, that's definitely in the realms of possibility of becoming a larger ABC, which is something we talked about before. But I'm in no short positions at the moment. I'm waiting for that 105.45 to go ahead and get an enter if we are going to put in that high. But that's pretty much it for LTC. There's no long positions. If we break this resistance, there's other places to test on the way up. But that's the main idea I have for LTC at the moment. Oh no! Oh, okay, I got you. I thought you were really wanting to look at LTC. No worries. Okay, yeah, no, you got it. We're on the same page. Yeah, pretty much anything with higher liquidity. So if you go to Coin Market Cap, you could probably get away with like the top, top 50. But always take a look at the chart, see how it responds to ABCs. Practice drawing ABCs, and you can get a better idea of what's going on, what could happen, or at least how that coin respects ABCs in general. But thanks for the short recap. No problem, my friend. We got a lot of people here today. If you guys are just tuning in, please feel free to ask any questions you might have. If you need me to recap something, or you need me to kind of clarify something, please let me know as well. Would love to answer any questions you guys have. This is an opportunity for you guys to go ahead and learn a little bit more about me and my strategy, and kind of get a better idea of how ABCs are traded. Why I personally think it's one of the best strategies out there. What about ARB? I can take a look at that real quick. Is this all the price action it has? Oh, crypto will. I like when BTC is making an ABC move and take multiple entries at the same time. Yeah, that's well, on multiple coins. Like if BTC makes a bullish position, you take entries on multiple coins. Okay, I never really thought about it like that. That's an interesting way to approach it. What about bigger XRP short? You took that. Unfortunately, Bidarius, I did not get entered into that. But I'll go ahead and mention that real quick. XRP has a massive bearish setup as well. So as long as we're below this pivot, XRP is pretty bearish, but doesn't mean it doesn't mean if you don't see a good opportunity to take a bullish position, doesn't mean you shouldn't take it. Let's see, Sandeep. Hi, Johnny. I am new, joining with some experience in trading and have joined to enhance my skills. Would you know where I can start, i.e. incorporate a strategy that I can start working with whilst I continue to learn from here? To be honest, I just only trade ABCs. So if you want to learn more about ABCs, I invite you to go ahead and check out my YouTube channel, which I'll talk about more at the end. I pretty much live stream 3 times a week on my channel talking about ABCs. I go over questions you might have. There's books that can point you in the right direction as well, but I'll be very honest. The book that I learned the ABC strategy from is very, very complicated. Basically what this is a simple version and a modified version of Elliott wave theory. If you guys aren't familiar with Elliott wave theory, pretty much it's almost the same concept where you're trying to break down price movements in the groups of fives and threes. I don't know why the line's not showing up, but we basically took a version of that, or the author took a version of that, modified it, and basically just made the claim that, look, if you look at things from an ABC perspective instead of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you have a lot easier time navigating the market. If you guys want, I can show you guys where to get that book, but I'm going to be honest with you guys, it's very intricate, very technical. I spent a lot of time reading it, and even after reading it, I don't follow all the methods that it talks about entirely. I kind of took the methods of what the book gave me and simplified it even more to a more concrete, if this and that strategy. So if you guys want to, I'll post a link. If you guys want to go check it out, it's there's places you can get it online for free. I know somewhere you can get it for free as well, but yeah, I can definitely do that. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm sorry about going back to ARB. Let me know if there's an exchange with more price action. If this is all we have, unfortunately, I can't really give you a clear-cut answer. The only thing I can say for ARB is, I mean, you have that short setup here. If not, you're looking at something like this possibly. Or maybe a long entry down here if you get in a lower low. So those are pretty much the 2 main options. Darius, gotta go. I have to study. See you in tomorrow's stream. Thank you so much for stopping by, my friend. Oh, here you left. Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Yeah, so pretty much those are for ARB. Those are the 2 pivots. So either we get a higher high, you short if you get back below, or if you get a lower low, come back up, you can definitely long that. Let's see, Eric the Viking. Hey man, sorry if I missed it. But where do you typically set your stop loss on an ABC strat? And would you add trailing stop after your profit reaches a certain point? That is a great question. So my stop losses are always static, so I do not change them. The reason why I keep it that way is because one, I'm playing into the bigger picture. I'm playing into the bigger possibility. And to me, these levels are basically if this and that statements. They're set. They're basically set levels for me. So the statement is, as long as BTC is below this pivot, then BTC will has a higher probability of continuing lower. Vice versa, you know, if we're in a long position, pretty much goes into the opposite. So where if we put in a lower low, if we put in a low, a retest and a lower low, put in that pivot, we get back above. It's a set if this and that statement for me. So I don't basically my stop losses are static because I'm very concrete with how I take my entries. Now, if we are in significant profit, that's when I start looking for continuation setups. But instead of moving my stop losses to break even or moving them in profit, I'll just look for a continuation setup instead. Hopefully that answers your question. Makes perfect sense. Thanks. Yeah. So, because for me, I'm pretty, like, a lot of people have described my way of thinking as very concrete, very static. I don't I try to incorporate as little emotion into my trading decisions as possible. I'm pretty much a robot when it comes to this. I don't care if I lose. I don't care if I win. You know, obviously it's nice when you win. You can add more money to your account. But to me, I'm very, very cold when it comes to how I approach my trading. And because of that, I approach my stop losses the exact same way. You know, I'm very, if this and that, stick to the rules. I don't deviate. Basically, the probabilities are higher if we maintain above this pivot in this case scenario. So for me, it doesn't necessarily make sense to move my stop loss around. I'd rather just take the loss, let price develop, and give you a better answer. Let's see. Supreme Cat, can you go over what is in your $50 program? What you go over if the videos are on 25 are included in $50. Oh, okay. So the $50 program is basically access. It's a monthly access to my Discord. So let me go ahead and switch screens here. I'll show you real quick. Well, I'm just going to change my screen here. Unfortunately, I'll show it at the end if you guys are interested on YouTube. I know there's less people on YouTube, but let me just go ahead and change my screen. Change windows. All right. So basically what's incorporated in my trading group is where first you get access to my community. You know, my guys are amazing. My crew is, shout out to my crew if you guys are here and are also in my Discord group. Really do appreciate you coming by. But pretty much you get access to my real-time setups, right? Which I go over everything here. Let you guys know when I'm entering. I also go over, you know, like I said, you get access to the community. We have about 100 people in here. You also get access to the tutorial videos. So basically all the tutorial videos are pretty much everything that you're going to need as a trader. I go over the ABC method. I don't know why this thumbnail didn't load, but there's multiple hours of content when it comes to the ABC stuff. Also basic leverage trading tutorials. You know, I go over everything, how to manage risk, how to use the risk calculator using the simple method. I also go over my basic DCA strategy, which I still use to this day, you know, how I go ahead and, you know, buy coins periodically. Most importantly, I go over trading psychology, which is basically the foundation of your trading career. You know, if you guys don't have the right mindset, if you guys don't have you don't practice good behavior when it comes to trading, you guys are not going to succeed regardless of how good your strategy is. This is something that I touch on a lot. This is very important to me. I think, is very crucial for you guys as well. So you guys get, you know, I would argue tons of hours of content as well as access to the community and my real-time setups. So yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to the Discord group. If you guys are interested, I wanted to touch on that just because someone asked. But I really do appreciate you showing interest. There's links in my YouTube video. I'll go ahead and drop the YouTube channel here at the end, but just showing you guys that, you know, if you guys want to go ahead and join, I would appreciate it. You also get a lot of content and a lot of value out of it. So, if you guys want to learn more about ABCs, we definitely would appreciate it. Let's see. Alif, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Let's see. Small caps on ARB Eco would be good play, in my opinion. Yeah. If you want to take those chances, you absolutely can. But for me, I tend to just stick to the larger caps. All right. Let's see. Crypto Will. I've been trading for a while and recently learned about ABC. My consistency went up tremendously. My wallet is up 270% in the last 20 days. Way better entries. Huge pops for sharing initiative. Wow, that's awesome, Crypto Well. I'd love to see that. Congratulations, my friend. You did a great job. That's awesome. Let's see. Makes perfect sense. Thanks. No problem, Eric. I really do appreciate. Thank you so much for asking that question. And thank you so much. Oh, and then the Supreme Cat, the $25 tier is just the crash course. So what the crash course is, it's basically everything from A to Z. It's a 2.5-hour video, A to Z, on everything you're going to need how to learn ABCs. And then I will be hosting extra live streams. So it's more detailed than than the YouTube live streams that I do, or a little bit more intricate than things are here. As well as we provide the live streams to go ahead and, if you have any questions or need me to go over certain things, it's more of a connection to where we can just focus specifically on your questions you might have, instead of going over, instead of having a larger live stream to where we talk about everything and then ask questions. This is specifically to help you out. So if you don't want to sign up for Discord, I invite you to sign up for the crash course, which is in my Patreon link. Like I said, I will, if you guys do sign up, I will start hosting more sessions. I just haven't had anyone sign up yet, so I haven't really had a time to set things up. So if you do sign up, I will make time to, host a session, even if it's just 1 or 2 people. But if you guys are interested, go ahead and check that out. I would appreciate it. But going back to, you guys are asking great questions, by the way. Thank you guys so much for contributing. I almost lost track of where I was. All right, so let's go back to the S&P. So pretty much, long story short, the main 2 options on the table for the S&P is going to be the possible test of the lowest low, or we get one more push to the high, create an ABC, and may at the very least get a pullback. If not, worst case scenario, this becomes part of a larger setup. So that's pretty much it for the S&P. Let's do the DXY. So the DXY, I've talked about this for a while. I'm waiting for a lower low past the previous pivot at around 182. So you can see we are currently above that pivot. We are going to be short-term bullish on the S&P. I know some people are going to mention the bearish one, which I have mentioned in the past, which is very true. We can come up, test that as resistance, and continue lower. But as for now, I'm going to keep in mind that area. And if we do get a clear rejection, and if we do have if we do continue lower off of that rejection, the bearish setup is going to be prioritized over the bullish setup. But just keep that in mind. As of now, we do have some room to push the upside when it comes to the smaller region. But ultimately, if we can maintain below 103, I am going to be a little bit more bearish. Let's see. SPY has a gap to fill right above where we are right now, wanting for that to fill and tank. What's that level? What's that level at, Metal Bones? Curious. I wonder if it lines up with, is it around 418? Let me know where that level is. That'd be pretty interesting if it lines up like at that 418 region. All right. Let's see. Does anybody else have any questions? Could you go over OP USDT? Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. What's the best exchange? Is it Binance or KuCoin? Bybit? All right. So pretty much for this, Of course, Binance, but okay, I'm using Bybit. I got you. So pretty much at the moment, the main thing I see, the only reason why it's just for price history purposes. If Binance has more price history, let me just check it out quick. It's about the same. About the same. So we do have that bearish pivot that we're currently dancing around. So keep that in mind. If we maintain below that, that is going to be bearish. But if we go ahead and look at the smaller time frame, to me, it really comes down to two different setups. That short at about 328. And as well as we have a possibility of putting in one more lower low. If we do not put in a new high, if we put in a new low without putting in a new high first, that is a potential long setup off of that ABC. Let's see, using David indicator with 6% on 1 hour setups, ABC. I got stopped out. Yeah, there is going to be some area for price to dance around in this region, so just keep that in mind. Let's see, Lamo, what's your Twitter handle? So I mean, you could follow me on Twitter. I don't necessarily use it too much. The best way to get updates from me is from YouTube, but I will share it if you do want to follow me. Where is it? So someone asked me in YouTube chat. So let's see. If you want to go ahead and follow me on Twitter, that I would appreciate it. But like I said, maybe I will start posting there a little bit more actively. I know a lot of people do. I just really haven't had the use for it. If you guys want to follow me, let's see. Do you use any of David's ABC strategy / indicator? I do not. Crypto will, just because I've been having a lot of success with the ABCs doing it manually based on what I've done, and to me it's almost the same. But I like to prioritize larger setups, and for me, doing it manually is the best way to go. I mean for monitoring. No, not really. To be honest, I don't use any indicator. I just stick to static levels, just use ABCs as a way to dictate, setups for me, if this and that statements, and primarily just work off of that. I know some people have used them in the past. 4,200. Oh yeah. That's pretty close. Metal Bones, that is pretty close. That's pretty interesting how it almost lines up with that previous high. That's definitely an interesting point there. Maybe there's some correlation involved. That's pretty cool. All right. Let's see. Supreme, did I okay, great, thanks. Crypto will. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and asking questions. And if you guys are, watching on the YouTube, Twitch, I know there's a handful of you guys in there. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. If you guys have any questions or you need me to go over anything, please let me know. I use it to give you an alert when the setups are forming. Okay, yeah, I never really heard that before. That's definitely interesting. That could be a good thing. I know some people like to use different indicators and stuff. Some people have had success. Some people, kind of they switch they try to find something that fits their style. That's definitely something different. All right, so we went over the SPY, the DXY. Let's do gold and silver. Like I said, I'm keeping my eye on chat. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. But you guys have been absolutely terrific today. I really appreciate you guys tuning in and asking good questions. It really does mean a lot to me, and it's supports me and supports. It also gets you guys to hopefully learn something new. Let's see. Jim Cramer is a good indicator. That's good. That's pretty funny. I like that. I'm gonna go ahead and pop that up. I like that. Oh, I'll do this too. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter on the YouTube stream, I'll go ahead and pop up in there as well. All right. So for gold, Most importantly, there's two main scenarios. One is that we go ahead and put in a lower, we come back below this region here, which completes this ABC. But as we're currently above, things could be looking like we are going to go ahead and push towards the new high around 2077. Those are pretty much the two main pivots. Now, if we go ahead and push towards those new highs, that is going to give me a much larger ABC setup. Now, could this be a much larger reversal? Absolutely. I will, if you guys want to trade gold, I don't personally don't trade gold. That is a good my personal opinion. If I was going to trade gold, that'd be a short setup I would take. But just keep in mind that, even if that setup fails, we're ultimately gonna be pushing to new highs. So we will be keeping that in mind as price develops. But besides that, that's pretty much it. Those are the most important levels for me to maintain, or at least to keep an eye on. And if things change, we'll go ahead and reevaluate. But as of now, those are core setups, core levels for me to go ahead and take. Silver, almost the exact same thing. If I go to a 4-hour, to me, this is a very nice ABC. We can go ahead and make a push. If we can continue upward, fantastic. If not, there's a potential reversal around 24.55. Right. And then going back to what I was saying before, the previous high is the next level of ultimate resistance. There's some areas like around 27.01, which is like a good resistance area. But to me, if we get a higher high, that would indicate a much larger potential ABC to play out. Something I would take as well if I'm able to trade silver. Something I would do personally. All right. So 24.58, 30.16 are pretty much the main ones. Does anybody else have anything they want me to look at when it comes to traditional market wise? Anything traditional markets? If not, I'm going to do BMW for Vlad.
Thanks.
So he knows when to sell his cars, his fleet.
Of zero.
But same thing still remains. 160 is that main pivot. You can see we kind of danced around that region. But if we can maintain below, that'd be a bearish pivot for BMW. If we continue to pump, the next region of resistance is going to be around that 124.30 or 124. Sorry. So if we can go ahead and test that region, that'd be an ultimate level of support. That would go in and complete not only that setup, but a much larger setup on a 2-day. So, but if we get up there and we just keep pumping past, fantastic. But that's something I'm definitely keeping an eye on as well. But yeah, if you guys don't have any other questions, let me just make sure I didn't miss anything in chats here. Thank you guys so much again. I really do appreciate you coming in, asking great questions. I hope you guys learned something today. But I really do appreciate the contributions you guys made today's stream. And guys, go subscribe. If you guys are here on the YouTube end, subscribe to David Tech Lives. All right. Not only do you get live streams from me, but pretty much most events that are hosted on David Tech's Discord, you guys will be able to watch from YouTube end. There's a lot of stuff that they're constantly working on, a lot of very interesting guests, a lot of stuff that I like to see, stuff that provides different perspective to the table. So guys, definitely go subscribe to that YouTube channel. And definitely check out what they have to offer there. There's definitely a lot of cool stuff. Not just, what I bring, not, the things I talk about, but we have other guests there as well.
One of our best guests is Johnny.
I appreciate that, William. I appreciate it. All right. If anyone doesn't have any other questions, I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys. If you guys are interested in learning more from me, I would appreciate if you guys check out the YouTube channel. I'm gonna go ahead and just pop it up here. I'm going to switch screens. So if you guys want, I'll go ahead and pop the YouTube channel and links in Discord as well as here in the streams. If you guys are watching, if you guys want to learn more from me about the ABC method, I live stream 3 times a week, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday at 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. UK. We go ahead and pretty much talk about the same things. I'll give you guys updates on what's going on. And if you guys want to come by, ask any more questions, if you guys want to learn more from me, it's an open platform. Nothing's off limits. I try to make sure you guys walk away from each stream learning something new, or at least taking away something from every stream. As well as you guys check out the links in the description of those videos. If you guys want to support me in any other way, that you can sign up for the Discord. Also sign up for the ABC crash course, which is, like I said, it's a 2.5 hour, everything from beginning to end, A to Z of what you're going to need, how to trade ABCs, everything from drawing trend lines, how to draw ABCs, risk management, setting up trades, everything. So if you guys want to learn more about that and also get access to exclusive live streams from me, we're going to be hosting once a week. I really would appreciate it as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I really do appreciate it. Let me go ahead and pop it up on the YouTube channel. Oh, I just realized I'm not sharing. Oh, you guys can see me. Let me pop it up on the YouTube channel as well. Sorry about that. So that's the YouTube channel. Like I said, guys, I posted a link in the description. If you guys want to go ahead and follow me, I would appreciate it. Tune into more updates. I'm going to be live streaming tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get an answer, or at least things will develop more before tomorrow's stream. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. If you guys are new and you want to stop by, looking forward to getting to know you guys a little bit more. If not, I'll be here. William, I'm going to have to probably change my date next week,
No
because
problem at all.
probably Wednesday again, because
Sure.
I'm going to be coming back home from the wedding on Monday. So I'm not sure I'll be able to make it. But so
Yeah. Johnny's getting married. He's not telling us about it.
or going all the way to Vegas wedding. No, I'm just kidding.
Please tell me you're not getting married to Vlad.
It's a secret. Don't tell anyone.
Yeah, I mean, if not, I'll be in the stream by myself on Monday.
0 chances of me arriving to Vegas, so I don't think so.
Yeah, you need a passport for that, Vlad.
True.
But yeah, guys, definitely, check it out. I'll be here probably Wednesday. If not, I'll let you guys know, or at least I'll do my best to let you guys know ahead of time when I'm going to be streaming here. But most of the time it's Mondays at 12 p.m. Oh no, yeah, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. UK. I'm sorry, I apologize. The regular stream time is 6 p.m. UK, not 5 p.m. UK. I don't know my time zones. So 6 p.m. UK. Really do appreciate it, guys. Until then, I'll catch you guys on the next one, or maybe on the YouTube channel. But thanks again for tuning in, folks. Be good. Be safe. Take care, everyone. Thanks again.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Have a good day.
Cheers, guys.